So here is my take on what's happening in today's society, and I'm sorry if the quality of the video is terrible and the sound too, but I really needed to share this because it was in my head, my head for a very long time, and I think it's time for me to share my thoughts. So yeah, and it's so weird for me to do a video like that because I was an atheist over a year ago. And yeah, like even if I grew up in a Catholic family, I've never been interested in religion at all because I couldn't care less about religion. For me, it was, I don't want to hurt anybody, but it was for brainless people. Like, oh my God, you need a crunch? How do you say that? Une canne to live your life. Like you need to say, oh yeah, it's not me, it's God, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, no, this is just not for me. I respected religious people, but yes, I didn't care at all about religion. I was a complete atheist, and now I realize that okay, maybe I was not religious, but I was spiritual. But anyway, so my point is that for me, if society is like a chaos nowadays, it's because people forgot about God. And when I say that, I'm not even talking about religion. I'm just talking about God. So I don't care if you're Jewish, if you're Christian, or whatever. I'm just talking about God. People forgot about God. That's why people are just lost. Because God is purpose. God is like a GPS. God gives you a motivation to create something that is greater than you, that is just outside of you. It's like an inner force inside you that makes you wake up every single day and just do something meaningful. You're not doing things from a place of selfishness and individualism, but just you're thinking collective. And it can be just like where you live, or something even like internationally. You're not into your ego, you're into something that is just greater than you. God is what gives you this force to create things that seem like a miracle. I'm talking especially about like churches. Churches, when you go to churches, especially like in Europe, you're like touch. It hits you in the face so deeply because it was made thanks to God. God gives you like a force, like a power, I don't know how to say that, something inside you that makes you so powerful, so resourceful, fearless. And that's why when you remove God from people's lives, you can see them drift. You can see them lost and they end up chasing meaningless things. How do you say that? Chasing heights? Like meaningless things. And since those things, money, it's pointless. They're looking for something that will never, ever, ever fills them. It's pointless. The only thing that can fill you deeply is a relationship with God. That's the only thing. You don't need money. You don't need success. You don't need anything external. It's just you and God. This relationship. And this gives you, again, motivation, purpose, GPS. You don't need anything. You're fearless. You're trying to have a meaningful life. And automatically, it gives you this sense of, I want to create something greater than me. So many people are just completely lost because they forgot about God. And when I say forgot about God, it's just they forgot about who they really are. And the purpose, if I can say that like that, of remembering God, returning to faith, is to remember who the fuck we are, our inner nature, who God made us, if it makes sense, like who am I? Like who am I deeply? That's why sometimes I can use this expression of my truth. When I say my truth, is actually the truth, something that is inner inside each one of us, which is still the same thing: God. God is within us, within every single one human being on this planet. Every little things, God is everywhere. My bed, this desk, everywhere. God is everywhere. But anyway, what I want to say is that the purpose of life, if there's one, is to remember who we are. I wouldn't say who the fuck we are, but yeah, who the fuck we are, and remember God. And when we remember God, we automatically are looking to elevate, to grow, to get closer to Him. And because people forgot about God, me included, because I was an atheist, people, they don't know what to do with their lives. They end up in therapy, they end up lost, and they question everything. They forgot their inner nature. They deconstruct everything, and it creates an unhealthy, unsafe society. And so when you return to God, when you return to your inner nature, you return to something that can't be changed. This is who you are. This is the natural laws, something that cannot be changed. You cannot deconstruct anything. That's why, personally, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything, what's happening in our society, because I strongly believe there's one thing that works, which is nature, which is God. Nature will always win. That's why you can try to deconstruct everything you want, but in the end, there's always one thing that will always win, which is nature. And at the beginning, I said, I don't care about religion, because for me, the most important is the relationship with God. Not to put yourself in a box, but I'm not spitting on religion, because religion are important to structure societies. When you gather people, it creates something stronger. Like religion gathers people under same rules, guidelines, and things like that, like values. And this is great because this creates a stronger society, an unbreakable society. And again, if people forget about God, if you remove the religion from a society, people are just doing their things selfishly, individually, and so that creates a weak society. So to make this society great again, if I can say that like that, not politically, I don't want to be linked to any political party. The solution is to help people, to guide them to their faith. You cannot force them, you cannot impose religion, you cannot impose God. No, you can just guide them in helping them to remember who they are, like who they are personally, like, okay, what's my purpose, like what's my why, things like that. That's how personally I had my spiritual awakening. I didn't choose it, because yes, you cannot force someone to have a spiritual awakening. It just happens when you live your life. Some people will go through this spiritual awakening and some will never go through it, but that's it. Like, the best thing you can do is to just teach people, guide them. And that's something I personally kind of hate with religion, with some churches, is that they force you, and there is this kind of shame and guilt they want us to have, like, oh, you're a human being and you're full of sins. And that's why personally for a very long time I was so disgusted about religion. That's why I will personally encourage people to just go through their own spiritual journey without being forced to go to church, to read the Bible, to have some rules. No, we don't need anything like that to have a relationship with God. I personally feel the most connected to Him when I do random things like dancing, driving, taking a shower, like stupid things. But if you want to get closer to Him, you don't need something external. You just have to cut the noise, make silence, make like room, space in your head to hear Him. He's always there. He's always sending signs. You are the sign. What you feel inside you, it's him. This intuition that speaks with statements, do this, talk to this person, start this project. This crazy voice, it's him. He's always talking to you. Always. He gives you creativity. He gives you project. That's him. That's him. And again, these things he's telling you to do will automatically create something greater than you. You will impact people around you if you follow that voice, that gut feeling, this thing that is already inside you. All the answers you're looking for, all the ideas already inside you. You don't need something external. You just have to cut the noise, tune into yourself. That's where God is, not outside. He's already inside you. You don't need a priest. You don't need the Bible. You don't need to go to church. These things can help you to get closer to him, but never, ever, ever believe someone who says you need to go to the church, or you need to go to church, or something external, period, to get closer to him. That's not true. He's already inside you. If I have this wisdom, these thoughts, these ideas, these concepts without even doing this, it's for a reason. I'm the proof, and I'm not the only proof, that you don't need something external. The only thing that is keeping you away from hearing his voice is your self-confidence. That's it. That's it. You're lacking confidence. That's why you think you need to rely on something external. But I'm going to stop here. That was my take on faith, religion, society. And that's it. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. And talk to you soon.